got tired of putting on my blue outfit because I didn't participate in anything. I just sat on the bench. Well, of course, I didn't get very good grades until I got to 10th grade. And then when they started with basketball, I loved it. I didn't play basketball out in the country, you know.
Yeah.
And so I liked that. But when I played basketball, the girls went to her and said, she plays like a boy. And when the teacher talked to me, I said, do you know, we went to country school and we were pretty rough playing kids, you know, tag and all this stuff. And I said, and besides, I had 5 brothers. And I said, I had to be tough. And she, you know, she kind of laughed. And then after that, boy, my grades just came right up in gym. You know, I got good grades in that.
Where did you meet Grandpa at?
My friend Mary and I had gone, and I think it was New Year's Eve, out to, I think, Crystal Palace probably, to dance. And Mary had told me, showed me how to slow dance, and then she taught me how to polka. Well, she met a guy, Dean Howe, and he wanted to date her. And she said, well, you just wait. She said, if you want to come to the roller rink, Betty and I are usually always there, like Friday night or Saturday night, or usually those nights, you know. And so he came to the roller rink, and he had Jean and one of their buddies. And I think the very first night, we got in the car, and they went over a bump in the road and broke something down. Can't remember what it was. Something in the car broke down, so we had to take the other guy's car, which was small, and we had to go to Millburg, I think it was, and I had to sit on Jean's lap the very first night I met him. And so then I think the first time I went out, when we had a date, we went ice fishing. Dean and Jean and Mary and I. So then we just, you know, dated a little, and then we finally got dating more, and I wasn't smart enough to say I had it.
I remember hearing a story that they had a flood one time, and Grandpa had to carry Grandma through water.
Oh, yeah, that was down by the river when we farmed there at Summer Layton.
Mm-hmm.
And the river flooded over onto the land that we farmed, and all these great big carp, huge carp, came into that water. And Jean comes home and tells me about it, and the neighbor guy said, I'll take any of those that you catch. And they put them under around the peach trees for like fertilizer or whatever, you know. And so he kept saying, I wish you had come down there. I would like you to see him. Well, I wanted to go out with that, what the heck was it? Some sharp, some kind of a spear. and he wouldn't let me, and he said, here, get on my back and we'll go out and get one. And he goes like this with the spear and almost tips us over into the water that was about that deep. Oh, Arlene keeps telling me, Mom, keep writing stories, write a book.
Yeah.
So I write a lot of stuff, you know.
Well, it'll be interesting to read it all someday.
Every morning, and my mom had gone into labor, and she told my dad to go get the boys breakfast, and then I don't think we had a car, and she said, go get the doctor, and here comes the doctor and Jean chugging along the old car, you know, probably a Model T. And when they got in the house and went in the bedroom, I had already been born. And after, 3 boys, when my dad was thrilled that they finally got a girl, and he said, oh, Mom, we finally got our girl. And she said, well, turn it up so I can see. She had to have proof that I was a girl.
That's funny.
So he was excited, huh?
Oh, yes. And then people say, oh boy, you must have been spoiled rotten having 5 brothers. And I said, well, people have said that to me, but I said, when I was probably about 7 and we were on a farm, and when my folks went to packing strawberries, my mom did the packing and everything. And I said, they put Pete and Mac like out on a blanket, and I kept them there and took care of them, So I started pretty early, and I was pretty little, pretty young when I would want to wipe dishes and do things, like that. I always wanted to do something. And so when I got older, like when I was high school age, in the summer, but Dad would take the boys to the barn to do the cows and the horses and chickens, But I had to help make breakfast, and then it was do dishes. And at 7 o'clock, when my dad was ready to go to the field, I was right out there with the boys working on the farm. So, and when my mom canned at night after we worked all day, I had to help her.
Yeah.
And things like that, So I don't know that they could say, I think when I got old enough to drive, I got to use the car more than the boys did. And of course, by that time, Vic and Don were married.
You were out there milking cows?
I had my time that I had to do that.
Did you have like a church wedding or just a justice
No.
of the peace or something?
Just went to the parsonage, and the pastor of the church married us. Yeah. I said if I were married again, it was going to be a white dress and
How many people were there with you? Just you and him and
my mother and my brother Mac, Jean's mother and brother Toots, and
Uncle Toots.
and my gal that stood up with me, and Dean Haupt stood up for Jean. And then my brother Pete was there and he took pictures.
Do you still have those pictures somewhere?
I take it,
And some of that stuff right
Oh,
there.
I
okay.
take it Grandpa's dad wasn't alive then, or wasn't in the picture,
Yeah. His dad,
or I heard the story. My dad
Yeah.
told me about all that happened, but I
Yeah.
was like,
his dad was in an institution,
yeah,
and so he wasn't around. But
and Dad told me
about all the things that
happened.
Harry had done.
Yeah. Well, he told me about Grandpa too,
Yeah.
but I was like blown away with it. But I was like,
Well,
wow.
See, Gene had a hard time too because his dad was so, I don't know if you called him mean, but
No, my dad said that um, they actually, yeah, he talked good about him because he was telling me that they remembered when they went and stayed with him
Well-
and his grandma at the time or something when they were kids or.
well, not, I'll tell you what, Harry and Gene were in the barn doing chores and Gene did something that his dad didn't like, and he had a crowbar out there for some reason, and he hit Gene and knocked him into the sewer, into the
Whoa.
gutter.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, his not to be talking mean against his dad.
Yeah.
And then Gene told me that, like on Sunday morning, they might have a neighbor that would come, and Gene's dad might get out of the bottle of wine. He wasn't a drinker, but he would get it out and give the neighbor, they might all have a little drink of wine. And when the neighbor left, his dad grabbed the table cover and gave it a jerk, and all the leftover food and the dishes all went on the floor.
Do you think he might have been bipolar or something?
Well, probably he was something, They always talk about the German people and one thing another. So actually, these are the things that happened to Gene.
When he was younger.
And he had to go out and work in the fields when he was very young.
Yeah, I kind of see. Dad was telling me that